I
Yeah.
am I can't stop watching people eating food on TikTok. I
Does it
love
make
it.
you hungry or disgusted?
It's never disgusted. I freaking love it so much. It makes me hungry for whatever they're eating, but then also, I like the sound of them chewing the food, but you like ASMR too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I love ASMR, but I've never been an ASMR foodie.
I
I
love it.
That's your thing, so you like the mouth sounds.
I like the mouth sounds and I like the crunchy vegetables and just the ranch that they dip it in. I like gross, not disgusting stuff, but like them dipping it in ranch and
Yeah.
like a little bit of mess on their face because I have something wrong with me apparently. So something's
Okay,
very wrong with me.
I'm not gonna judge. I mean, those are some
You
quirks,
can
things like
judge.
the best on their face. I'll tell you my ASMR secret because when I send
Okay.
people the videos that I like, they're like, "This is freaking weird."
Yeah.
But I like it when they put makeup on you and when they
Yes.
talk to you in soft baby voices. It just relaxes me. And here's
Yeah.
the confession. I used to have to listen to it every day. So I would be around the loud voices at work, and I'd
Yeah.
come home and be like, "I need my ASMR to, like, calm me down, lower
Yeah.
my blood pressure." And now I don't need it. I haven't listened to it in a couple of weeks because 'cause I'm
I
not
know.
working right now.
I okay, so the guys that I work with, I will not say their names, but they'll walk in the studio during commercial break and they'll eat behind me or next to me.
Uh-huh.
And there's one particular person that's a very loud eater. Not that I'm not. I'm sure I am, especially when I'm really hungry, but I can hear it behind me. And I'm like trying to focus and like write or like edit videos and stuff like that, but it's loud. It just makes me laugh because I don't want to hear him do it, but I will watch a random person on TikTok and that's approved, but I don't know. I don't know. Something's wrong with me. So
Okay, this is really messed up. I wonder if you don't like listening to that person chew because you know them. Because
maybe.
I have to tell you there's like an anonymity involved.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is,
Voyeurism.
yes, I don't know these people. I'm
Right.
not friends with them. If my friends were doing it, I might not get the same effect, it's like
Yeah.
it's a fantasy or something. And I also realized, like, my sister and I both like it, so we're like, "Hey, listen to this," and I tried to listen to it in front of her, and I
Right.
don't get the tingles. Like,
Yeah.
I have to do it by myself. I have
Right.
Do you only enjoy that by yourself?
Yeah. There are a lot of
See?
things I enjoy by myself.
That's what I'm saying. This ASMR is starting to fall into a certain category.
And I like it. I like exploring new categories.
Oh, I was gonna do a wellness check with you. I was gonna say, "Where's your head
Yeah.
at?" Now I think I know where it is. But you said
Yeah.
you have a funny story too.
That was it. That was my funny story. I was
Oh,
like,
good.
something is wrong with me that I enjoy
Yes.
watching. I Anthony will walk by my husband and he's like, why are you
Yeah.
watching people eat Taco Bell? And I go, because I want Taco Bell now, first of all. Second of all, I don't know. I don't know, but I love it. I'll sit there. I just watched a Jimmy John's one and I'm like, this is the best thing ever.
It's hypnotic. It's
Yeah, it is.
hypnotic is what it is.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jimmy John's, Jimmy John's. You ever go to Okay, I think we're on the same page here. You ever go to Publix and they make you
Yeah.
a pub sub, and you
Hmm.
get hypnotized by it?
Hmm.
Just by
Yes.
them making it and putting
Yeah.
the accoutrements on top
Yeah.
of it. "Oh, you want pickles?"
Yes.
"Yeah, I want pickles."
Something,
"Pickles?"
yes. Yeah, I do. You
"Uh-huh."
like that? Can you smack that bun for me while you do it? Can you toast that bun for me? Yes, I love it. I love all these things. These are fabulous.
You're not weird, you're just, you get the
I have
feels from.
kinks. I
Yeah.
have kinks.
Ah.
How are you doing? What's going on with you?
Well, okay, so my check-in is my hair's very flat. That's my big worry of today. My
Your
hair
hair
is
is not
very
flat.
flat on top. I've been noticing that. Any
Before
tricks?
you put
Any
on
tri
your headphones, it was fluffy.
Okay, because I'm
Yeah.
feeling it's a little
No,
heavy.
you're good.
Okay,
No.
so that's what's on my mind, and, so I haven't been working. So, what I
Yeah.
realized? Like, some of the things that I was fearful of for not working anymore. This is a really
Mhm.
weird fear that I used to have, is I was thinking, "What if my brain just doesn't work the way it's supposed to? I need that adrenaline, I need the drive to work fast and get in there and the back and forth and the, you know, firing squad of questions or topics or whatever." Like,
Right.
what I realize now is I don't need that. That's actually harmful.
Yeah.
So my deep thought of the day is,
It's draining.
yes, the introspection that I've been feeling lately is amazing. It's like
Mhm.
I just constantly am. I mean, I'm a little bit too much in my head, but I'm walking around and I'm having these deep thoughts. And I never had that ability. I couldn't hear myself. So
Right.
when you're in send mode all the time, or when you're in, fire, rapid fire interrogation mode,
Mhm.
you lose that voice. So I feel like it's coming back to me a little bit. So that's
Well,
that's
that's
where I'm at
good.
today. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's always nice to take a step back and it's like going on a long extended vacation, maybe like
Mhm.
out of town, maybe even away from the family and the kids, or just with your husband, your significant other. And then you're like, oh my gosh, this is what, like, take yourself out of all the
Yeah.
stress, out of all the pressure, and then you
Yeah.
can reset, you can reassess, and it's nice.
It's so nice. It's so nice. That's what I feel right
Are
now.
you, I know, okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're spending more time at with the babies, with your two beautiful daughters.
Yes.
Okay, is this so we're happy about this obviously. Now is there a second or two where you've been like, you're driving crazy? Like the kids?
No, no, because I still have my nanny.
We love our nannies.
It's fine.
We
That
love
will
that.
only last so long. until until we run out of money. So
So
no,
silly.
but I have along those lines. Like I did some PTA stuff yesterday,
Yeah,
and my deep thought yesterday was like, when people are nice to each other and work together, you can accomplish a lot. So I'm in a
right.
good, comforting space right now. Okay, story about spending more time with the kids. Yesterday, I took them on a play date, and we went to a park, really cold. My daughter, there were these boys who came in, and I got to tell you this story because Meredith, I know that you will relate because this is totally something your daughter would do. Your older daughter, we have like two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
hmm
Mhm.
So she's in the park, and these boys come in, 14-year-old boys. She's 7. So they're riding their bikes around. She flips out and screams at them, "Can you not read this sign? No bikes allowed. No bikes allowed." Crazy, crazy
Damn.
town.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Well, is
Then
she protecting them,
so
or herself?
no, she's just a rule follower. I'm like, I don't know where she got that. Don't know where she got that part of her. So the boys leave all except one, and one had to pimp it, and she chased him down on foot and is like going
Shut
after
up.
him. It was crazy. Then they got now this part I like, but again scary. They came in without their bikes and stuff. They got on this swing for disabled kids.
Mm,
She again got in their faces screaming, "That's not meant for you. That's not for you. You're gonna break it. Get off it now."
that's
Anyhow,
awesome.
I yes, and
And
when
also
you
you're like, "Can we calm
y
down just a
yes,
little bit?"
intense, you catch the
Yeah.
flies with honey,
Right.
try a little, "Oh, too bossy."
Of
So I worry about that later on in life in your
course.
interpersonal skills with your loved ones if you're gonna be that outrageously
I will
intense.
say it's very comforting when you do follow the rules, and why, as a parent, if you grow up in a household with no rules,
Mhm.
maybe you don't feel as safe or as protected. She obviously feels that way, which is, it should be comforting for you. And then also, it's so comforting for her that she's like, listen here, you're making me feel uncomfortable and you're not following the rules. Also, I like the disabled thing, meaning like if there was a disabled child that ended up needing the bigger, and those seats are very big too,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
but if there's no kids around that need it, it's like it's not necessarily off limits.
No, it's not off limits. That's what you do at the park. You climb whatever you can find to climb. Yeah, no,
Right.
but they I was just like, "Honey, I don't know how this is either gonna really work in your favor when you're looking
Yeah.
for potential suitors later on in life because 'cause you're a take no
Yeah.
crap attitude, or it's gonna be like, you scare the bleep out of me. You're
Yeah.
terrifying."
Yeah. My younger one follows the rules. She's very logical. We've had this
Yeah.
conversation behind the scenes before. And then my older one is very emotional. So if I have to explain something to my older one, and I obviously love them so much, but they're very different. My older one just can't, she gets like very overwhelmed,
Yeah.
very upset. It's very hard for her to get over that,
Oh, yeah.
whatever issue is going on. But for Olivia, she's 4 right now. And if I just blatantly just, dumb it down and explain
Yeah.
it to her, like, you can't jump off the couch because you're going to break your arm or your neck. And she looks
Right.
at me, she goes, oh, okay. Yeah. And that makes, and that makes sense to her. But for
Yes.
Aubrey, she's like, oh my God, you're ruining my life. Like,
It's you're
I
not
can't
gonna tell
comprehend this. It's like, what?
You're ruining her buzz, like her high of
Right.
having fun and doing crazy
I
stuff.
would never ruin anybody's buzz, that she
No.
just doesn't understand that yet, so
Yes, you're just trying to
mhm,
protect her. Were
I
you a
know.
rules follower or a rule breaker or a little both?
I was a rule follower, growing up. I was a rule follower. Not that I
Mhm.
wanted to, by the way. When I started hitting like 16, 17, I was exploring a little bit more and breaking a
Mhm.
little bit of rules. But honestly, I was kind of raised by a single mother, and then
Right,
she married again. But he was always gone. He was constantly working. So again, I was still raised only by her and then seeing my dad when I could
right.
because he lived up in Charlotte. And so it was a safety thing. And also, my mom scared the hell out of me. Like, I did not want to get in trouble. I have had my ass whooped so many times by a belt, by the kitchen spoon, by like a switch or something like
Yeah,
that. And I follow said rules because I know what it feels like to be put in that position, and I
right.
don't like that much pain, not
Oh,
that pain. You know what
oh,
I mean? And that's why I would follow the rules, just because, my mom didn't have time for all that extra stuff. She was
no,
just like,
no. She had to keep it tight, keep it tight.
there's no nonsense when it comes to that.
No. I am a rule follower in some areas, but I had so many rules when I was a kid that
Hmm.
I learned I was not a defiant rule breaker. I was a skirt around the rule and sneak and
Yeah.
break it.
Yeah. Okay. That's smart, though. That's so smart. I love
So,
it.
yeah, so that was, a little naughty at times.
Did you get spanked or whooped or anything, or did
Oh,
your
yeah.
parents not do that?
Yeah, they spanked me. I don't think I got spanked that often, but I remember I definitely got my mouth washed out one time. Did you ever have that happen with soap?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, I definitely did. And I think my
yeah.
mom took it from A Christmas Story,
Yes.
like that one of the kids cuss. I forget what movie that was. Maybe it was. And then there was an actual bar of soap in my mouth.
Yeah, and you'll never forget that moment. You know what soap tastes like, but the thing is right?
Smells like it's disgusting, by the
It's
way. Don't
it's
do it.
nasty. It doesn't belong in your mouth, but you remember that moment, and I don't know if you're I feel like I got my mouth washed out. I mean, obviously for talking back,
Yeah,
that's how it because that's what the mouth and the clean your mouth, you're rude, you don't talk like that. But I
right.
think it started because of makeup, because I was, like, wearing sneaking and wearing makeup when I wasn't supposed to.
I think that
So,
that's so normal, though. I
yeah.
would steal my mom's makeup, or okay, to take us back a little bit, not to
Mhm.
age us or anything, but when I was like in middle school or whatever, when I was wanting to explore a little bit more, we couldn't wear any makeup to school that wasn't natural. I went to private school at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And by the way, I did go to public school, but I started to get in trouble. So mom was like, whoop, and she put me into a better school, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
And it was. So, yeah. But anyway, I would end up showing up to school with like blue eyeshadow. Remember the
Oh,
blue
nice.
eyeshadow phase?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, so I started getting in trouble because of that, because everything had to be
was it
all natural.
yeah, yeah, it
It
was
had to look
80s.
like, yeah, yeah,
80s
man.
blue eyeshadow, that
Yes.
was the thing.
Yeah. And then white eyeliner
I remember that too. What does that do to your eyes? Does it make it them bigger, right?
to make
Because it's
them
lighter?
pop.
Pop.
Yeah. But back in the day, we didn't have all these tutorials on
Mhm.
YouTube on how to have
No.
the perfect, contoured face. It was
Oh,
like we opened up a magazine
mhm.
or we saw it on TV
Yeah.
and then we just tried to copy it. That was it.
Oh, our kids are gonna be so far ahead of us. I mean, I
I
let my
know.
kids play with makeup now because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
like, "I want you to be good at it. I don't want you to be a clown putting it on, so play." They're not wearing it out in public
Yeah.
most of the time. But I let them do it now, but they're gonna know everything because it's like, "Oh, Google it. How do you do that?" And they're gonna have the perfect little we didn't have
Yeah.
any of that.
No, I didn't have any of that either. And I mean, what a shame,
I
especially when it
know.
came to, I could have looked way better than I actually did.
Yeah, me too. Me
What the
too.
hell? Why didn't I don't, and sometimes I think like, why didn't my mom
Yeah,
teach
teach
me?
me
Did
some
your mom teach you?
contouring.
Right?
No, not
My
at
mom
all.
didn't teach me either. She was kind of like,
Yeah,
here, figure
yeah,
it out. Not that there's anything wrong with that because she's not a makeup artist.
right.
But I think now, like if my daughter was mature a little bit more, I think I
Mhm.
would teach her this and that,
Right.
like normal
Yes.
things, nothing crazy. And just, I don't know. That's me though. Not a lot of, I don't know.
Just walk her through stuff, little tips like, "Okay, you wanna" because then it's not a thing, then it's not like, "Oh, I have to sneak and do this." It's like, "I'm gonna do this, and mom's gonna give me an idea if it looks good or bad, or I'm gonna come up with my own idea because I know more than mom anyhow, and I'm gonna look on YouTube and find the answer."
Right. Right. Exactly. So, and now we look like this. So whatever this is. I still don't know how to do my makeup, so
I
whatever.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst. Like sometimes I feel like a clown, and you're too young for this, but what's starting to happen is it's getting harder and harder to put on eye makeup the older you get
Is it the
because
eyelid droopy
it's
kind of
yes,
thing?
yes. So forever I've never been able to do cat eye the right way. I feel like it's always like I'll get it looking good one way
Yeah.
and then it collapses.
You feel like it
So
falls.
yeah, yeah. Okay, you want to
Okay.
hear a mom fail that I did the other day?
Yeah. What happened?
I took my kids to a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
And we were like fashionably, for us, usually, if we're 5-10 minutes late, perfect, right on
Yeah.
time. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, kids, we're doing it. We're on time. We're on time. Yes, yes. Because you don't want to like overcrowd the birthday host when you get there. But at the same time, Chuck E. Cheese, they're paying for you to be there. So you want to experience the
Yeah.
whole thing. And so I'm like, good, we're right on time, less than 10 minutes late. And we go in and I'm like, nobody's here. Okay, well, we're really early. This is weird. Wait, what's going on? It was the wrong Chuck E. Cheese. So we were at a Chuck E. Cheese 35 minutes away from the Chuck E. Cheese that it was at.
That's so annoying.
Yeah. So it
And
was
then
only
and then you were really late.
very late.
You're
Very
like,
late.
did everybody eat yet?
No, yeah, you know what? They had the pizza in front of them. That's right.
Okay.
They were sitting down. So we got there. We still
That's
got some
fine.
games in. It was fine.
But it's a
And
kids party. It's
it's a kids
totally fine.
party.
And it's pizza. You know what I mean?
Well,
Very simple and easy.
yes. Okay. Let me tell you this. As Doug and I, he went with me, and of course he's kind of irritated with me. He's like, "Well, that's never happened before to me." And he's just kind of I'm like, Doug, if I need it hit over my head, it's not
You're
the
not helping.
traditional Chuck E. Cheese that you go to. It's the one on the other side of town that you wouldn't think to go to. Put that in
Yeah.
big bold letters on your invite.
Yeah.
No, it's not her
Yeah.
fault. It's just I'm not no attention to detail. But this is what I told him while we were there as we're chasing our kids around. I was like, guess what? We only have to be here for an hour. So this
Yeah.
actually worked out perfectly.
Yeah. So suck it. How about that? You're welcome. And you're not getting
You're very
anything fun
welcome.
in the bedroom because you're
Yeah.
making fun of me. So
No.
shut up.
No. So stop. Exactly.
Right, because those kids' birthday parties, they're, some are a little, they can be dull sometimes, but you
Mhm.
do it because obviously it's your kids' friends, and if you have the right parents there, it's fun. If you're allowed to have a beer or a high
Yeah.
noon or what inject,
Yeah.
whatever alcohol you like there, then people tend to loosen up a little bit. But sometimes it's like the weird, awkward middle school or high school dance where
Yeah.
everybody kind of stands on the wall because they don't want to talk to each other, or they
No.
do, or
Yes,
some people don't know
exactly.
each other. Yeah.
Ex
Oh, I hate that feeling. I'm like, and I don't mind going up to weirdos and like talking to them.
Yeah.
So, but also my kids there, and I'm kind of like, can we leave?
And then chances are I mean, it depends. Maybe they're the parents that you're gonna see at more parties because it's the class or whatever, but it is awkward. It is totally
Yeah.
like the high school dance or the middle school
Right.
dance when you're
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like, okay, who do I talk to? And a lot of times
Right.
I just go into default mode. I just follow my kid around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I
Me
or
too.
I'll look at my phone,
Yeah. Oh
do
my
the old
God.
one.
I'll be like, oh, mommy's got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Scroll, 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 scroll,
Uh-huh.
scroll. So I
Mhm.
totally feel your pain with that. But at least you didn't have to stay too late.
No, no. You wanna do something a serious topic?
Sure.
Ugh, we're gonna do it all.
What is it?
It's bad. It's bad. There's no good segue.
Okay.
Okay. I was at my play date yesterday,
Yeah.
and this woman who was there, she's related to somebody who works in human trafficking. So we start to talk about the different things that you worry about as a parent. Now,
Yeah.
I know that you've probably done this. I've done this over the years, interviews with people who are with organizations who fight against human trafficking.
Of
We know
course.
it's an issue here in Tampa in the state of Florida. It's a thing.
It's
It
huge.
happens. Yes, exactly. So her sister used to do this and she had to quit eventually because she had young children. It was just too much. But I learned some interesting things. So I
Okay.
learned actually like she told me all kinds of little anecdotes. Horrific.
Would you
So
call these tips, like tips to look out for?
yes, let's call it three things I didn't know about human trafficking or that I, has enlightened
Okay.
me or I had never thought about it this way. The first thing she talked about is it usually happens, even the trafficking usually happens with someone you know. In
Mm,
other words, it's like the vulnerable child person, and it's not always sex trafficking. It could be work. It could be there's like three categories. I forgot the other, but it's usually someone who knows who gets that person into it.
mm.
So it's a family member or a friend, and then they pull you into it because maybe it's a vulnerable kid, maybe their parent, it's an unstable household and they're looking for something. So,
Yeah.
and this is what she told me, they play the long game. So sexual predators, human traffickers, they are not going to just, oh, let me try to take this child or whatever. It's more, they groom you and groom you and groom you, and they will stick around for a long time. So you can start to identify these behaviors because they're sticking around they're not going to do anything for X amount of time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, so that's what you have to remember with these kinds of people is
Disgusting
they're
weirdos.
yes, disgusting, horrific people. They're willing to play the long game.
Mm.
And then now there are instances where you're somewhere and someone takes a child and they don't even know what happened to the child, or they don't even recognize their own child because they'll cut the hair, change the clothes, boom, gone. But the second thing, never, ever let your kids go to the bathroom by themselves, pretty much any age, pretty much until they're adults, at a stadium, an amusement park. Never let your kids in there by themselves.
So I didn't know this. I'm so happy you brought this up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this as a tip until a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And I say that because on Fridays, my family usually goes out to a kid-friendly restaurant that is somewhat affordable if we can afford it at that time because life is so expensive.
Yes.
As my older daughter, she's 8 years old, I want to give her a little bit more freedom, right?
Right.
So just a little bit and not a lot, but I am on top of her because she's still my baby and she's young. So my thing recently has been, Roxanne, to let her go to the restroom at the restaurant, which we go to all the time, and I know where it is, and she's not going anywhere, right? Exactly.
I do the same.
After I heard this, and you're bringing it up now, it's not happening until probably maybe high school. And I know like 14, 15 sounds crazy, but definitely end of middle school. It's not happening.
Same. Until I had this conversation, I was doing just like you, a family restaurant near our house.
Right.
Okay. The bigger girls, I would never let my 5-year-old, but the bigger girls, okay, go ahead by yourself. I can see the door. I can, you can see people walk in. It only has one way in, but still after talking to her, because it's the vulnerability, you're in the restroom,
you're locked in there.
You're locked. Yeah. So you just,
that's a great tip. I'm happy you brought that up.
Yeah.
That changed my mind. I can let her have some freedom in other aspects where she's safe. And that you're still never safe if you're in public, in my opinion, because you can't control anything. My household is my household. But yeah, even if it's like the normal restaurant you usually go to, it's crazy to think of. But yeah, I'm never, ever, ever letting that happen again until she's much older. So good tip. That's a very good tip.
Yes. So ending on that note.
Was there a third?
There was a third one, but I think as we're talking, I think it's too horrific. Oof.
Okay.
It's a bad one. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll tell you, but I'll put it. It's more something to watch out for or know. I never knew this, never thought about this. There are families a thing at amusement parks. Take their kids there, and then they meet another family and they switch the kids. Like, oh, go with this family for ice cream. Yes.
Why would you do that?
Because it's abuse. They're abusing the kids. They're basically selling their children for renting them out.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Well, so this is like the most, I've never heard of that either. It's so disgusting. And so the person you talk to works in that, in human trafficking, saving children and families that deal with this. Wow.
But I thought that was important and interesting because two reasons. Number one, I would never think that. Obviously, I would never think of that in a million years. There are people like that at amusement parks. Yeah. They pick the amusement park to do that swap at because they have to entice the children. Oh, we're going to go to, this theme park.
Right.
Because
and have this time.
Yes. So
and then that happens.
So it's just something to know that there are creeps out there.
Yeah. So along the lines of those are very good, helpful tips. And then also something I didn't know with the theme park thing. I will say this, that, and I think we've talked about this before in our other podcasts we've done. This is our first video podcast. but sleepovers.
Yeah.
I'm not allowing my girls to have sleepovers. And it's hard for me to kind of navigate this with other parents. I have to be like, I would say good friends with you in order for me to explain this to you. But if I
Mhm.
don't really know you, but I know your kid because our kids play all the time.
Hey.
But I constantly have to hear that you guys want to have sleepovers, which I do all the time. It has
Mhm.
nothing to do. It's not against you and your family, but I'm not going to allow my kids to sleep over at anybody's house until they're much older. When I was younger, something happened in a bed with another girl, and it happens with two girls sleeping in the same bed. It can happen with the brother. I've heard of situations like
Yeah.
that, or a
Yeah.
dad or something, an uncle.
You're
I don't
right.
know who's in your house.
You're right. Exactly.
So, and again, it's nothing against you. I'm sure nothing is going to happen if they do spend the night, but my baby is sleeping here. And so the new trendy thing, have you heard about this? Is I forget what it's called. It's not a sleepover. It's like a sleep under. And
Uh-huh.
so they'll have a sleepover until like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And then all the parents come and pick up the
Oh,
girls.
that's cute. That's cute
Hmm.
because guess what? Remember the rule, nothing good happens after
Yeah.
1
Midnight.
AM when we're in the clubs?
Hmm.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
nothing good happens for 10-year-olds or 13-year-olds after 10 PM. They can go
Yeah.
to bed. And then you know what else? The worst thing about sleepovers that I dread, because we do have sleepovers with our cousins. And the
Yeah.
thing that I dread about the cousin sleepovers, I mean, we have a great time, but they stay up late and they're crabby the next
The
day and
next
they
day.
still get up at the same time.
Of
So,
course.
yeah.
Yeah. Because they're excited to play with their friends again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they're
But
crabby when they come home to you. Yeah.
right. Yeah. Mainly what I'm talking about is like friends from school. And I
Yeah.
really don't know you guys.
Yeah. 10
But
o'clock.
your daughter, your sons are
Yeah.
there. Everybody's awesome. They're so, so sweet. However, that's not happening with my
Mhm.
kid.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and so I
I hear
don't
ya.
know why I'm apologetic for it because it sounds like I'm being a bitch, but I'm unapologetic about being a good mom.
No, exactly, nor should
Yeah.
you be.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those are good tips. Listen, we're not experts. We're just trying to share some
Yeah.
helpful stuff for anybody that's listening or watching this because it's definitely important. And I never knew that. And
Yeah.
we've been broadcasters for a very long time and we keep up with stuff like this, especially living in the state of Florida and in Tampa where it's huge. And I had never known the whole
Never
bathroom
heard that.
thing.
No,
Never heard that
no.
till recently. So thank you so much for sharing
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Kind
Yeah.
of a downer to end on, but we
No,
got
it's
over
good.
the
This is good.
we're in
It's
a place.
educational. It's
Yep,
good. Yeah.
yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to go back to watching people eat on TikTok.
I'm gonna try to poof my hair up now that the
You
headphones have
poof it.
flattened it down. I gotta go do some
Have you
shaving.
tried that air wrap? Remember I was talking about the air wrap? It like
Yes,
changed my life.
I need to do that. Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, yes, thank you for that reminder. That's
All
yes.
right. I have
Okay,
a knockoff one I can let you borrow to see if you like it. It's
I love
knockoff,
it.
so it's like super loud, but that's what determined
Right,
if I wanted to invest the money in it. And it's been like a
right.
game changer for me.
Yes, okay, good, good. I
Yeah.
'cause your hair always looks perfect.
I
Beautiful.
I just push it all forward. I'm actually bald behind me right now. You just
I
can't
know,
understand it.
me too.
It's just like,
I have so much hair,
yeah.
so much.
You have a lot of natural hair. I pay for this.
It's beautiful. It's
Thank you.
gorgeous.